November, everybody. I'm very excited to present a very different kind of show this month. It's, you always think of Thanksgiving and being grateful, and I've met someone that I'm very grateful to have met, and I would like to introduce Bunny, who has a new last name, Bunni Walls, recently married, and our show today is about ALS. When I talked to Bunny at one time, she said she participated in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. She didn't really know what it was, but now she does because she's been diagnosed herself, unfortunately, with ALS. So, Bun, I think I forgot to say that you're my Zumba teacher and my strength teacher and everything else up at the health club.
Yes.
So, let's talk about your diagnosis. You were in class one day and you were talking about your arm bothering you, right?
Yeah. About a year and a half ago, I noticed that I couldn't open a water bottle. That was the first thing. And I thought it was weird. I would try with all my might to get it open, and I couldn't open it. I'm like, And then I noticed that my forefinger and my thumb weren't working properly. Like I was having, like if I dropped a penny on the floor, I couldn't pick it up. I couldn't make them work.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, it's probably my neck. I've been in the fitness industry for 30 years, and I figured at some point in time something would blow.
Right, sure,
Sure. So I'm like, okay, probably have a pinched nerve. So I went to a neurosurgeon, and they did an MRI on my neck, and he said that there was nothing wrong with my neck. So he said, but there's definitely something wrong with you. I don't know what it is, but it's
okay. So I have a question. Why did he say that? Why did he know that?
Because he was looking at my hand.
Oh, okay.
And my hand, it was clear that it was
not
off.
working right.
It wasn't working right.
And from what I understand, ALS often begins in the limbs.
It could begin in your foot or your leg or your hand. Some people, it begins in their face.
Oh, okay.
That's known as bulbar.
Okay.
It's different for everybody, and everyone's progression is different. Some are faster, some are slower.
So when you went to this doctor, he said, I know there's something wrong, but I don't know what it is.
Right.
So then what did you do?
So I went to a neurologist.
Okay.
And I still was thinking it's my neck. They missed something on the MRI, so I insisted on having another MRI. And the neurologist did it, and he said there's nothing wrong with your neck, and I just wouldn't believe him. So then he said, well, let's do an MRI in your brain, and that came back clear.
Oh.
And then I had an MRI. They thought it was something called thoracic outlet syndrome, which is a bundle of nerves in your armpit area. If they get compressed, it can also cause the symptoms that I was having. So I had an MRI for the thoracic outlet syndrome, and that came back clean.
Also. Okay.
So then I had an EMG. And at first that didn't really show that much. And then I went to a vascular surgeon because my hand was getting cold.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And he said that my vascular system was fine.
You must have been getting a little frustrated at this point.
It took almost a year to get diagnosed. And then I went to 3 different chiropractors, and 2 of them thought it was my neck. 1 of them thought it was thoracic outlet syndrome. And then last August, after I had more blood work done than I can even tell you to rule out Lyme disease, because ALS can mimic Lyme disease. That's the thing with ALS, is there is no test to say, hey, you've got ALS. You have to test for everything and rule everything out first. And you have to kind of narrow it down.
Well, I was telling you earlier, I had listened to a podcast, and it did say that it takes about a year.
Yeah, and it did. It took
It
just about a
did.
year. And it was very frustrating, and I thought that nobody really knew what they were talking about. You know, I felt like they were missing something.
Right.
So all told, I probably went to about 10 different doctors, and my local neurologist, Dr. Markowski, about last August told me that he suspected it was ALS.
Oh.
And but he wasn't quite sure, so he sent me to the ALS clinic at Mass General in Boston.
Yeah.
And I went back and forth up there for a few months, and they did more testing on me, and then it came back that I had ALS.
Were you ever thinking that you had something that serious?
Never. I never
Never.
thought I would ever get anything like this.
Because even in class, when you would be talking about your arm, I
Right.
was just thinking, oh, she's, like you said, she's a trainer. Of course she's aching and paining and
Right,
whatever all
right.
over.
It would make sense to me that I would have some sort of overuse injury.
Right, exactly. Exactly, but
Yeah.
it wasn't.
No.
How'd you feel when you first heard the words? What did you think?
I was floored. You know, when he mentioned it to me last August, I was pissed because I'm like, "There's no way you don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about."
why are you even saying that to
Right?
me?
Why'd you even put that in my head? But you know, I have the utmost respect for him because he called it before anybody, and he encouraged me to go see as many doctors as I wanted. He said, "I hope they prove me wrong."
Sure,
So-
but they didn't.
But they didn't. So when he first mentioned it last August, I was angry. But now, you know, when it was confirmed, I guess I had a little bit of a buffer. I was kind of shocked, but not shocked because I kind of knew it could be.
Oh, someone else had told you that, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But just to have it confirmed, it was like, wow.
And so, have you had more symptoms since then? What's changed in the past 6 months?
I can feel myself slowly progressing. So back a year and a half ago, it started in my hand, and it has progressed into my wrist and my arm and up into my shoulder. I've had some muscle atrophy. I've lost a lot of muscle in my arm and even in my hand. And I feel it slowly getting worse. Like things are becoming more challenging for me.
Like what?
Like getting dressed. You know, people can't really tell, you know, outside of my home
Right.
yet,
Right.
you know, because I'm still in the beginning stages. But it's quite a challenge for me to get dressed and do my hair. And
Well, I think we'll have
Yeah.
a picture of my doing your hair in Zumba class this morning because you no longer
right,
can
I no
put it
longer
up.
can put my hair up.
And I apologize for the bad ponytail that I made.
Oh.
right? Yeah, and you are wearing a brace on your hand when you're working.
Because I have no strength in my wrist. It kind of flops around when I teach, so I need to have a brace for that. And it's starting in my left hand now. This is probably in the past couple of months. It feels like this hand did a year and a half ago.
Oh, it does, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
So my thumbs don't work really well. Like I can't use scissors. Putting in contact lenses,
Oh.
you know, anything you need your pointer finger or your thumb for.
You know, and no, people don't realize that
No,
at
you know,
all.
Right. Putting on makeup.
Uh-huh.
You know, I really challenge doing that. Hooking my bra. You know,
Yes.
like everyday things.
That you just take for granted.
Right. Buttering toast. You know, I'm starting to have trouble holding on to a fork and a knife. turning doorknobs. I've gotten stuck in rooms because I can't turn the doorknob.
Do that, yeah.
And turning on the ignition to my car. You know, little
Things
everyday
like
things that are really no big deal.
Until you can't do them.
Until you
right?
can't do them. Now those things are challenging. You know, and I'm still in the early stages of it. So, and I know it's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse.
You do know that.
I do know that. And that's the thing you have to accept, you know.
Do you think you have?
Yeah.
You do?
I do.
Why?
I don't know. I just have to. And I know it's reality. And I know I'm not going to get better.
So what do you see for yourself in the future?
I see that eventually this will paralyze me. I'll be completely paralyzed. And usually in the end stages of ALS, you can't breathe. That's how most ALS people pass away, is they can't breathe. The muscles in their respiratory system fail. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people might choose to go on a trach.
Mm-hmm. I read about that, yeah.
Yeah, and then it gets to a point with some people, it depends on where it starts. If it starts, bulbar, you can't speak, you lose your voice, you can't eat, so some people need a feeding tube. But no matter where it starts, the end result is the same for everybody.
Lousy, right.
It's lousy.
And you know that, and you feel that you've accepted it.
Yeah, because I have no choice.
You're right, but
You know?
when I look at you and I see a young woman, actually, she's older than I thought she was. But I say, how does this happen? How did you get this? But
Right. No one knows what causes ALS, but I certainly never thought that I would ever get it. I didn't know who I thought would get it, but not
You
me.
never probably thought about it,
I never really
right?
thought about it. I knew it was bad. I mean, I knew when I did the Ice Bucket Challenge, I saw people in wheelchairs. But I guess that maybe I thought they were born with it or were always like that.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't realize that they were people that were just like me, who had healthy, active lives, that got this disease and it crippled them.
Well, there's a certain irony in a trainer
Right.
getting a disease.
A lot of people
Yeah.
that have ALS they work out and are active. It's, my neurologist said that it's very common, and I even asked him, like, well, do you think there's some relation to maybe being fit or being, involved in heavy exercise,
Right.
if it could trigger something, like, since so many people like me have it.
Uh-huh.
But then, it could be environmental.
It could be anything.
It could be hereditary. For me, it's not. For me, it's sporadic.
The best part of the story is when I met you about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
You told me that you were going to be getting married in a couple or a few years.
Yes. Yeah.
But now you're married.
Right.
Since September 1st.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
happened?
So the day that I got my formal diagnosis, my husband-to-be at that time and I were at home crying and just trying to deal with it. And I said to him, I don't blame you if you want to run for the hills, because this is going to get really ugly. And he said, I'm not going anywhere. And then we decided that night to get married. And there's no point in waiting a year or two. We don't have time to waste. So we got engaged. We went out the next day and got a ring and started planning the wedding. And 2 months later, we were married.
What a guy.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I have to say, I've never met your husband. I want to. But for somebody to do that
Right.
at this young age, I just think that's unbelievable that he just decided he wanted to be with you
Yeah.
and get you through it.
Yeah.
It must be remarkable.
He is, and I love that man.
I do too.
I'm sure a lot of people would really think twice about staying with someone because
Absolutely.
I'm going to need a lot of help.
Yes, you are. And from what I understand, there are so many agencies right here on the Cape that can help ALS patients and their caregivers.
Yes.
So that's a wonderful
we have a
thing
lot
to
of
know.
support here. There's CCALS, and I believe there's another one that we're going to be getting involved with. And, the community has been absolutely amazing, and my friends and my family, that the support network that I have it's really, they're the wind beneath my wings. It's the reason why I can get through this. If I didn't have the support that I have, I don't know that I'd be doing as well as I am.
It is amazing because when you were first diagnosed, everybody was very hush-hush about it and said, Bunny doesn't want to talk about it.
Right, it took me a long time to come public with it.
Yeah, then I found out you were on some Boston TV station, and I said, hey, she's got to come on this TV station, which I really, really thank you for doing. And anything else you want to say about your diagnosis or what you're grateful? Well, I know you're grateful for your husband and your friends, but do you feel sorry for yourself?
No.
Really?
No. I'm sure that down the road I will, but right now I'm still like 95% myself.
Right.
I can still drive, and I'm independent, and I can still work and teach my classes. So even though I have my struggles being at the beginning stages, it's not enough to get me down too much.
Right.
I have my moments with my husband, but
that's why in class we call you the Energizer Bunny, because you're still going and you're still screaming and yelling and having a really good time, and I think that's pretty amazing.
And I've got a great sense of humor, so my friends and we poke fun at myself, and but I try not to think about the future.
Day at a time,
try to stay in the moment and enjoy my life while I still can.
Absolutely. In fact, one of your doctors, I think you told me this, said, go out and start on your bucket list.
Yes, that's right.
And so?
So that's what I'm doing. They said that I probably have about a year to be as mobile as I am. So they said to, take the year and check off my bucket list. So we started with a wedding.
Yep.
And next week we're going on our honeymoon. We're going on a cruise. Yep.
And leaving us to just dance around the gym by ourselves.
You're going to have to, dance around by yourselves.
You have a ball.
So we're really looking forward to that. And we're going to travel and go visit our families and just spend a lot of time with our loved ones.
Well, that's the best thing to do. And that's why I say this is a Thanksgiving show, because I know that everybody that knows you for a long time or a little time is very thankful to be around you. Even when you weren't ill, they were still happy to be around you. So we want to wish you all the luck. If we can hug with our microphones, we're good, honey. But thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome, and we'll keep up with you. And we might just have to have your husband one of these days come on.
Yeah, we'll have to have him take a day off from work. And, maybe down the road we can, connect with each other again, to see how I'm progressing, because it might be interesting for people to see me now and to see me in a year,
and just see how you feel about that.
Yeah, and to see, to make it people more aware of ALS, because like I said, I didn't even know what it was, and I don't think a lot of people are really aware of what it is and what it does to somebody.
I don't either, mostly because nobody wants to be.
Right.
So, Bunny, we thank you, Mrs. Walls, for being on the show
for having
today.
me.
And we will follow you.
Okay, great.
Thanks, love. Yeah.
Love you too.